Welcome to Flesh and Freedom. I specifically want to talk about whether or not the people in the media that we see, the actors and the singers and whoever you see selling sex, are they really comfortable? That's my question. Does sex sell, or are we sold sex? So I was watching Chloe's performance, Chloe Bailey, from her and her sister Chloe and Holly. At first I saw a video of her crying after the VMA performance. Like, she took like a couple steps down and then she bawled. And yeah, I couldn't understand why she was crying. But then I watched the performance and I saw her do this movement where she's like, you know what I mean? And I'm a dancer. Modern dance, I've taken ballet, modern, yeah. So, and I've also done like experimental dancing. And I did this one dance before I went into trance, and it does, when you do that shaking thing, if you go to like churches, I don't want to go on a tangent, but that was reminiscent of that. And I thought maybe she just evoked a lot of emotion from just doing that movement alone. I was talking to my nail tech, shout out to my nail tech, and she was talking about how she's a fan of hers. And I said, how do you feel about like the direction of her career? And she said she was surprised, and also that she wasn't sure that she was comfortable with it. I said, really? And I didn't even talk to her about the whole thing, and she's like, yeah, I don't think she looks comfortable. And this is like a 19-year-old girl telling me this, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, cool, so I think I'm not the only one who sees that she just doesn't, to me, she doesn't look comfortable. And this is not like a gossip page. I love her and her sister. I love seeing women succeed. So kudos to you. I was also watching Rihanna talk about there was like a video that she did with Oprah some years ago, and she basically said that she didn't always feel sexy, and sometimes she had to fake it till she could make it. I'll put the clip in here. I'll add the clip.
When did you get to be, or how did you get to be so comfortable in your own sexual skin? You wear that very well.
Thank you. I had to fake it till I make it. That's what I had to do. I had to pretend that I was as comfortable. I really was not.
You were not?
No way. No way.
No way?
No. Barbados will be very proud after that. I just felt like I had to fake it. I had to just go for it. In Barbados, we have a very sexual culture.
You, the sexiest woman alive, Esquire magazine, hello, on the cover. You, the sexiest woman alive, was not comfortable.
No, but you have to overcome certain things. And you know, I'm 24 and I can do that now. Now I can experiment and I can try things and I can figure myself out, you know.
And also add the clip of Chloe when she was crying, because she just didn't seem comfortable. Oh, let me take my hair down. She didn't seem comfortable. Oh yeah, there's one part, like she's doing a video. She did a live stream and someone asked her like why she cried, and she was like, why did I cry? Well, and then she looks at the, you know, she's live stream, so people comment, and she's like, oh, my hair? Oh yeah, I just had them add blonde to it, and I'll add that video too.
I was just really passionate on the stage, and you all don't know, like, I have so much pent up emotion that I kind of just let it out during it, and that's all you all saw. Passion and excitement and feeling. And even right after I got off the stage, I think I saw some people actually captured it. I was just crying, and it just felt like a huge release. And it's like the whole day I kept crying before, because people ask, why don't I just go fully blonde, because my roots are still brown. Well, my locks are still brown, guys. I just wrapped them so I didn't have to dye them, because anytime you dye locks, it's very, very damaging.
But basically, it just doesn't seem like she's comfortable, which honestly just worries me, because I don't think that it's fair just assuming that she isn't, let's go off of that. I just don't think it's right or fair to the artists and their fan base should be put in these positions. I know there's record labels, there's management, there's a lot of other entities that go into how someone presents themselves, how presents their art. And I'm not saying necessarily like, and I know there's a huge thing about, you know, are you comfortable with your sexuality and this, that, the third, and I don't think that's always the case. You can be comfortable, but it's like, if someone's asking you to do something vulgar or you know, there's like a pressure to like sell a certain, I believe that her career would have been fine without it. Honestly, we didn't do that to Adele. We didn't do that to Whitney Houston. You might say that's a different time. We're not doing that to Georgia Smith. Let's not do it to Chloe, unless she wants to. And if she wants to, then more power to her. But I'm not convinced as a viewer that she's comfortable. But like I said, I love her. I support her, but I just want to make sure that I'm supporting someone who's doing as they please. Even Chance the Rapper talked about this. Look, I'm just letting you know Chance the Rapper talked about this. I'll insert the clip here of what he said about his friend, who being in the studio with like his friend and seeing them like say, "I own you" or something like that.
I think the clip was on Genius a few years ago for No Problems, but I couldn't find it. All I could find was this man.
You see, Chance the Rapper's never been quiet about his feelings towards major labels. He's even told reporters that a major label once told him straight to his face that we own the artists.
Her name is Alexa Demi. She plays Maddie Perez in the show. She's so cute. Oh my God, she's so pretty. However, I was looking at her Vogue interview when she's doing like your makeup, get ready for me Vogue, and she talked about.
When I read the script, I was like, this all makes sense and I want to do it 100%. The nudity was tough for me because I'm just not comfortable like that publicly. So it was hard for me, but it definitely, like I said, it pulled me out of my comfort zone. And after I did it and watched it, and it's not that serious.
The way she said it, the tone that she had, I could tell it wasn't something that she necessarily wanted to do. So, look at this wolf's face. What is the symbolism of wolves? Anyway, she said that it was hard, and it just made me have a lot of deep empathy for her, because I can only imagine being an artist and having to do scenes, or being asked, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but being asked to do scenes and feeling like you have to compromise either your career or your comforts. And sometimes you can be traumatized. You literally can be traumatized, even if it's like, you can be traumatized. And I actually found out, it was weird, but I had a dream and ended up looking something up. But I found out that one of my favorite independent rappers, Stro, was supposed to be on the show, and he dropped out because I guess they told him last minute that they wanted him to do a scene where he would be assaulted by a bunch of white guys. And based on what you see in the show, and I don't know, when I saw the scene in the actual show, which was another person who replaced him, when I watched the show on HBO, I was like, oh my God. I was very traumatized by witnessing the scene. It just disturbed me. It literally disturbed me. I wasn't even ready for that because it came out of nowhere. I don't really want to say that he quit or was he fired, because like if I decide that I won't do the scene and you don't want to get someone else, like an extra or a replacement, a stunt double, so I don't have to do it, like, it's not fair if someone's not comfortable doing that, you know what I mean? It's not fair. And for him to have to walk away, when I read that article about it, and I think his replacement said if you're comfortable with your sex, or at least the article allegedly, we'll use these terms, this article allegedly like interviewed his replacement, Stroh's replacement, and said that he was like, well, if you're comfortable with your sexuality and as a Black male and something around those lines. And what I have to say to that goes back to what I was saying earlier when I was talking about Chloe's career, is that it's not always about the comfort that you have in your sexuality. It's also what you, like, just because you can be comfortable in your sexuality, but you can have things that you're not into. Some people aren't into BDSM, some people don't want to portray it. And we also have our own history. Some people have been potentially abused, and these can be very triggering moments, and to ask someone to go into that, I know it doesn't have to be a part of the job.
My argument is that it's unethical and that the talent should be accommodated, not fired when they don't want to participate in these sex scenes.
Or not even just to cast someone, but to ask like an artist to do things that are uncomfortable. I don't think that's fair, because I think it's done as a shock element to bring in an audience. And at this day and age, in 2020, in the 20s, we're in the 20s, it's so cool. In the 20s, I don't think it's necessary because we can read when something's uncomfortable. We can read, like maybe during Rihanna's career when she talked about her being uncomfortable, we couldn't read that. You know, it was just like maybe people would talk about her in a derogatory way and try to slander her name. But nowadays, it's very obvious to look into someone's eyes. Something's happened. I don't know if it's the stars, the planets, the global consciousness, or subconscious actually. We can read when something is off with someone. And it's very obvious. So, yeah. I didn't watch the other seasons of Euphoria. Zendaya's cute though, but I didn't watch it. And it just made, I don't want, as a viewer, as a consumer, I don't want to see artists in uncomfortable positions that compromise them. And I don't want to see them being used as expendable when it comes to like the mainstream media. Maybe this is just me being empathetic or clairsentient. This is my solution. To the people who are a part of the team, let's just go to the teams who work on these shows and stuff. Pay attention to what's happening in society right now and pay attention to the reason why we have trigger warnings is because a lot of us are deciding to opt out of watching or consuming something that will disturb our spirits. So basically what I'm asking is for more creativity and to stop leaning into the survival mode tactics of tapping into a viewer's reptile mind. Right? That's what it's called. Let me look it up. I got my computer right here to look things up. Your fight, flight, sex, and food. And sometimes as a marketing strategy, they're actually the easiest, the laziest, the cheapest ways to like lure in an audience. So my suggestion is that you tap into something higher. That's my solution, is to tap into the subconscious and the higher aspects of it, rather than constantly recycling what has worked before. What worked in the early 2000s will not work in the 20s. I don't believe it will. I think that we are moving on. I mean, you see pages like The Hood Healer and other psychics, and that's the main one that I follow, taking over the internet, making fortunes off of their intuition, and a lot of us are going into that. So perhaps go into that, even something like the Twilight Zone, which was very creative, the original one. So that's it. I don't know what to name my skeleton. If you want, you can leave a comment, or you can DM me on my Instagram, Flesh and Freedom, and we'll talk about that. It's getting darker, so the lighting is changing because the sun's going down. Until next time. Stay fleshy, stay free. Do as you wish. I hope you like this. If you didn't, I just would love to hear your commentary. I'm very curious. Anyway, hugs and kisses.